Hello, my name is Shaquana McAfee. The general purpose of this speech is to persuade. The more specific purpose is the fact that I want my audience to know where I stand in reference to young offenders. While all crimes are wrong, age should not play a role in deciding the fate of those who commit violent crimes because since they are old enough to take a life, then they should be held responsible for it with no regard to their age. If they do the crime, they can do the time. And everyone should be treated equal inside of the courtroom. We all know the importance of convicting young assailants for committing crimes is necessary. S.L. Wade, an undergraduate student, proclaims all capable of carrying out unthinkable crimes without remorse should be shown the same emotional response. All offenders all offenders should be viewed through the same lenses while under the security of a judge. Today, I'll attempt to persuade you to share those opinions by discussing my three premises. They are old enough to take a life, then they should be held responsible for it with no regard to their age. If they do the crime, they can do the time, and everyone should be treated equal inside of the courtroom. The first important aspect of convicting young offenders is if they are old enough to take a life, then they should be held responsible for it with no regard to their age. We need to realize that crime has no age, no gender barrier. Justice should be the main priority as opposed to sparing offenders, according to Allen. When murder is the crime of choice, young offenders need to receive the same treatment anybody else would. According to Hyde, it may seem that they are not ready to be in the same cells as much older inmates, but that is not fair to the other ones. If they place themselves in a situation where they have to spend jail time, then it's their own fault. If they are cut slack because of their age, then they will typically become a repeat offender. Studies show that teenagers are the easiest to pressure into doing things, according to Lang. Those who fall victim to peer pressure would only learn from their mistake if they face consequences. The second important aspect of convicting young offenders is if they do the crime, they should be able to do the time. Although peer pressure is sometimes a factor, no one should do something they do not agree with. Even with peer pressure playing a role, most youngsters end up committing a crime they always wanted to commit but never had the nerve to do. Once someone makes the conscious decision, something that is law breaking, they need to be held accountable. According to Redding, studies show adults take pity on young offenders, fearing they have a scared past. Most end up cleared of any wrongdoing by claiming some sort of mental abuse. At the end of the day, committing a crime does not require someone to be a certain age. Violence is something one chooses to do. Therefore, their age should not be in question. If it can be proven, then he or she committed an actual crime. That should be all that is needed to convict. The third important aspect of convicting young offenders is that everyone should be treated equal in the courtroom. There should be criminal consequences regarding of all ages. Even though people are struck in economical and social classes, everyone should be convicted equal to whatever crime they commit. In conclusion, while all crimes are wrong, age should not play a role in deciding the fate of those who commit violent crimes because since they are old enough to take a life, then they should be held responsible for it with no regard to their age. If they do the crime, then they should be able to do the time and should be treated equal inside of a courtroom. Although I have been a teenager and I've done things I am not too enthused about, I do feel we all should be held accountable for our actions, especially if the law is involved. Thank you. Bye.